What's up guys, JP back at you once again, bringing you guys another review. This time we're reviewing The Perfect Husband from the year 2014, getting its media release in the year 2016, coming to us courtesy of Artsploitation Films. And for you Artsploitation fans out there, the spine is numbered 41. I don't really know what that means considering the last title that I got from them was in the 20s. I'm not exactly sure how their numbering is going, but it seems to be a little chaotic at the time. But nonetheless, let's get into this film. It is an Italian film, but it is in English. I found that very interesting. It's not dubbed, it is in English, it's spoken in English. The film follows a husband and a wife. The husband being Nicola and the wife being Viola. These two recently got pregnant and unfortunately they did lose the baby, so now their marriage is sort of in turmoil. They're both highly upset by this obviously, and they're trying to sort of lick their wounds a little bit, so they go out to a family cottage where they plan to spend the weekend together and sort of mend over their marriage. The husband begins to have some blind paranoia and rage, and eventually things turn very bad for the wife Viola, and her husband begins to turn on her. It's a psychological horror film where one of the characters begins to go mad. The first thing that I want to say is this film is shot very well. We notice that at the very beginning of the film, where we have a great establishing moment of the characters in love that is very effective. You instantly get the feeling that these characters are very much in love. I'm gonna be careful with this one not to spoil anything because it is very touchy. Most of the film is character development. You spend a lot of time with the characters not really doing anything. It is very subtle though in mood changes, and that's the key word here, is subtle. The character development is there and it's strong, but the changes in the characters are very subtle and it takes time for them to develop. You can slowly see things start to happen, which in my opinion is the most effective kind of character development, where it's sort of done in a long, sort of drawn out way with very subtle changes. The film is very effective with its character development and the characters' love for each other. You really do feel this intimate connection, and it's partly due to the fact that we only spend time with these two characters in an isolated location. I always say that in an isolated location, spending time with characters is key, and that is exactly what happens in this film. That's why it's effective, is because you feel as if you're part of this connection. You can feel the connection because they're together and they're only together and there's not much outside influence. I also really like the performances by these two. Both of the characters seem to feed off of each other very well in the acting department. I particularly like Viola, and I think that she was cast very well. She's very beautiful, very exotic looking, and you do start to feel bad for her for the different things that are happening to her in this film, both mentally and physically. As the film sort of unravels, we're introduced to a few more characters that do feel very throwaway, since most of the film is following these two characters primarily, but they do have their place being outside characters when they're welcomed into the story. The emotions of the characters are very strong, especially in the third act of the film, where you begin to really see what is happening in this story. The husband's rage feels very schizophrenic in a natural way, not the manufactured way that you normally see in Hollywood films. It's very reserved but still in your face. It's a very fine line, and it's often hard to pull off. There's some decent gore shots in this film. I wasn't expecting any type of gore, but it is there, some bloody goodness for us horror fans that doesn't ever feel exploitative or out of the story. Now, my key complaint with this film is the ending. Without spoiling anything, I will just say that the way that it unravels is subpar. It definitely is. The type of ending that the filmmakers decided to use has been done before, and it's been done right and it's been done wrong. And in this case, I think it was slightly done wrong just by the way that it was shown to us. There just wasn't enough there early in the film to make it feel cohesive. With that said, I still really enjoyed The Perfect Husband. It is a solid watch. I know that Jeremy recently reviewed this film and he did not like it. I'm going to check out his review after I record mine. I'm very curious to see what he didn't like about it, because I thought it was pretty awesome other than the ending. I like these very emotional films, and that's what this one is. It's an emotional film. I give this film a 7 out of 10. Very solid watch from Artsploitation.